परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। हरि ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। हरि ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। हरि ओम। येन त्वं सर्वयोगज्ञो येन त्वं सर्वयोगज्ञो ब्रह्मभूतो भविष्यसि ब्रह्मभूतो भविष्यसि। श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। हरि ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। ओम गणेश श्री गणेश जय गणेश नमः। चित्तं पंचविधं प्रोक्तं क्षिप्तं मूढं महामते विक्षिप्तं च तथैकाग्रं निरोधं भूमे संज्ञकम् तत्र प्रकाशकर्तासौ चिन्तामणिः हृदि स्थितः साक्षात् योगेश योगिज्ञे लभ्यते गुणेन शरणा। स्वयं बुद्धे चित्तभ्रान्ति करिमता सिद्धिर्माया गणेशस्य मायाखेल गौच्यते। अथ गणेशमन्त्रेण गणेशं भज पुत्रक अथ गणेशमन्त्रेण गणेशं भज पुत्रक तेन त्वं ब्रह्मभूतस्थम् शान्तियोगमापस्यसि इत्युक्त्वा गणराजस्य ददौ मन्त्रं तथारुणिः एकाक्षरं स्वपुत्राय ध्यानाद्यभ्य सुसंहितम्। Shri Ganesha Jai Ganesha Namaha. Hari Om Ganesha Shri Ganesha Jai Ganesha Namaha. Om Ganesha Shri Ganesha Jai Ganesha Namaha. Hari Om.
Swagatam, 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 Ganapate. हृदयाय जितेन्द्रियाय तेजस्विने स्वागतम् उदार हृदयाय जितेन्द्रियाय तेजस्विने स्वागतम् जनप्रियाय धीमते धैर्यप्रदाय स्वागतम् जनप्रियाय स्वागतम् प्रसन्नात्मने बहुभक्ताय मनोहराय स्वागतम् विनयशीलाय शान्ताय शान्तिप्रदाय स्वागतम् विनयशीलाय शान्ताय शान्तिप्रदाय स्वागतम् निगग पमगरिग पप तपमग पद सनि दपद गनि स निगग पमगरिग पप तपमग पद सनि दपद गनि स रिग पमगरि स गपद सरि रे गरि सनि दनि सनि दप पमगरिग
लव कर ये लव कर ये गणराया सकळासी भेटी द्याया
नाचत
आई घागुया वाजती आई घागुया वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती
नाचत नाचत आले गणपती
नाचत नाचत आले गणपती
नाचत नाचत
नाचत नाचत नाचत नाचत आले गणपती पायी घागुया वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती
शेंदुराची उठी अंगी शेंदुराची अंगी शेंदुराची अंगी शेंदुराची उठी
माथा शोभतसे किरीटी माथा शोभतसे किरीटी
केशर कस्तुरी ललाटी केशर कस्तुरी ललाटी
हाती मोदकाची वाटी हाती मोदकाची वाटी हाती मोदकाची हाती मोदकाची हाती मोदकाची वाटी
नाचत नाचत आले गणपती
नाचत नाचत आले गणपती
नाचत नाचत
नाचत नाचत नाचत नाचत आले गणपती पायी घागुया वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती वाजती पायी घागुया वाजती तुका म्हणे पाही पाही तुका म्हणे पाही पाही विठ्ठल गणपती तुझा नाही विठ्ठल गणपती तुझा नाही विठ्ठल 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 विठ्ठल
गणपती 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 गणपती
विठ्ठल 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 विठ्ठल
गणपती 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 गणपती
विठ्ठल विठ्ठल
गणपती गणपती
विठ्ठल विठ्ठल
गणपती गणपती
विठ्ठल
गणपती
विठ्ठल
गणपती
विठ्ठल
गणपती
विठ्ठल
गणपती
विठ्ठल गणपती तुझा नाही विठ्ठल गणपती तुझा नाही
तुझा नाही तुझा नाही तुझा नाही तुझा नाही मुख राम भजन को दिया कमल मुख राम भजन को दिया कमल मुख राम भजन को दिया कमल मुख राम भजन को दिया भजन को दिया लख 84
Hari Om. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारि भरनौ रघुवर विमल जसु जो दायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. The truth can only be one, there cannot be two truths. But love has got so many facets in which it expresses itself. The people of Ayodhya, they've loved Ramchandra ji so much that they were weeping for Ramchandra ji. Everybody in Ayodhya was crying. All the people of Ayodhya were crying. Everybody was stopping Ramchandra ji. But Ramchandra ji remained unstoppable. His father's word, and we should not compromise on our word, that is honesty. So honesty has got many levels. To speak what you know as truth, if a word you have given, to live up to your word, to live up to your ideal, all this is called as honesty, satyam. Ramchandra ji remained firm to fulfill his words. Herein also, we listen to the Ramayana. Isn't it great that Ramchandra ji listened to the father's boon, to fulfill his father's boon, went to the forest for 14 years. Yeah? But my question is, should he have done this or not done this? Should he have done this or not done this? So everybody says yes, right? Because I remember once children who had done Bal Vihar, and they know Rama and Mahabharat backside, front side, they know. So when again they became teenagers, and I said, if I take Ramayana with you, we'll take it differently. We will inquire into Ramayana. And when I'd come to this portion, I had an inquiry. One side, Dashrath Maharaj has given the word to the kingdom. He's given word to the kingdom that he will crown their chosen prince to be the king. It was in a way unanimous. Plus, he had given boon to Kaikai. Now, they clashed. Who should he follow, Kaikai or the nation? Tell me, you tell me. Yeah. And when Ramchandra ji did that, people are still questioning, isn't it? Why did Dashrath do what he did, and what did Ramchandra ji do what he did, and for what? The whole of Ayodhya is telling Ram, not like nowadays, some people, oh, everybody is telling me to be in this position, or everybody is telling me to be the, president of, the country. That is why otherwise I would have retired. President of the country, they say that. Politicians also say that, don't they? Here, people wanted Ramchandra ji to be the king.
Should Ramchandra ji listen to his father or for the people? How simple it is, no? When people should be following ideal. I asked the children also, did Ramchandra ji do well? Children are teenagers also, very idealistic, no? They said, yes. Yes, he should. Then I asked them, suppose, one of your aunt comes with her daughter into your house. Maybe, she's lost a family or whatever it is. She comes to your house. She's very dear to your dad. And very cleverly, she kind of wills a big chunk of your daddy's wealth. Make your dad will a big chunk of your daddy's wealth to your cousin. What should you do? Will you allow this? And suppose everything your dad wills it to them and not to you. Will you allow this? Will you allow? Immediately, like you didn't kind of hesitate. The children said, definitely no, it's not fair. It's not fair on my mom. It's not fair on us. We'll fight for it against our own parents. Where it's the wealth of your parent, if he decides to give one more than the other, God. See how we got double standards. In determination of Dharma. Why Dashrath Maharaj? In that dilemma, not that he wanted Ramchandra to go to the forest. Why Ramchandra ji went to the forest even though the whole country was saying don't go? Because Ram Rajya is not built like that only. Even if there is one person opposing, you will have a group of people saying. One thing is, if Dashrath Maharaj could not keep his promise to his wife in privacy, what will he keep promise to the nation? This is how public is. Second, Ramchandra ji went for the forest because he knew that Bharat would be equally good to run the kingdom. So he's leaving the kingdom in safe hands. And father can trust Bharat also. So it is not that he abandoned the kingdom and went. And at the same time, if he stayed back, which means he did not obey or did not fulfill his father's commitment, today parents take so much debts for their children, for their education, but when it comes to giving back, how many of them give? At least here, though you have it from the government, they have to give back. But to parents, who gives? No doubt this is an ideal that might consider to be us, to, not something, but at least we should aim for that ideal, learn for that ideal. So many things if you contemplate upon, otherwise we know the story of Rama and what is there. I know we get very touched, we like it. But there's so much to ponder upon as to what is Dharma. Ramchandra ji did go to the forest because after some time there could be opposition. And where there is conflict, progress does not take place. See, even though Kaikeyi is wrong, but Kaikeyi had the boon, no? See, this is what Ramchandra ji left. Again, to understand what love is. Love has got so many facets, is expressed in so much way. But as we will go on, we will see the facets of love, deeper and deeper love. All the family members who loved Ramchandra ji were crying. They didn't want Ramchandra ji to go. Ayodhya Vasi didn't want Ramchandraji to go. They left the kingdom also and went with Ramchandraji. But when Ramchandraji left from the forest towards the river, and when the Ayodhya Vasis woke up, searching for Ramchandraji and Sitaji everywhere, they cursed these eyelids. Why did we even go to sleep? That Ramchandraji left without us. And he didn't want that the Ayodhya Vasis should go through any pain, difficulty, suffering, and therefore Ramchandraji left them in the middle of the night. And they were weeping in the forest, condemning sleep itself, because Ramchandraji left from there. All this is love, no doubt. But there is a boatman who says enough is enough. And what is love? They did love Ramchandraji. In our love for someone, we are attached to them, we miss them. Did anybody think what Ramchandraji wants? If he is going there to do his duty, and he wants the welfare of everybody, shouldn't we, in our love, do what our beloved wants us to do? Everybody was weeping, but this boatman, he says, enough is enough. Mangi nav na kevatu ana. Everybody is asking the boatman to come to take Ramchandraji on the boat, but the boatman says no. Ramchandraji is looking like, why? You're a ferryman. You take people across. Why not come? He says, Tumhara maram main jana. I know your secret. Bhagwan said, you know, prince and princesses have got no secret. Movie stars have got no secret. All the tabloids, everybody. So this is what secret I said. No, 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 you are very unique. Bhagwan says, what is unique about me? He says, I have heard that there is some magic in the dust of your feet. There's magic in the dust of your feet. Bhagwan says, my dust is the same. He said, nah, don't bluff me. Yeah. Chuat sila bhai nari suhai. That touching it, a stone became a beautiful woman. Okay, at least a stone became into a beautiful woman. What is the crime? Not that I made a woman into a stone. And again, remember the story of Ayodhya. To condemn a fallen person, whether man or woman, it is easy. But who are those who can lift the fallen also? Yeah. And you think that Ramchandraji later on will doubt Sita? We don't listen to the scriptures properly, no? So he said, she became a beautiful woman. Okay, she became a beautiful woman. What's bad? Come on. Instead of an old wooden boat, you have a beautiful wife. It's a good bargain, right? He says, no, 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 no. It is with this boat, I look after my one family, and if I have got another wife, and that too also beautiful wife, double maintenance. Okay. You see how people change careers, Partners also, career also. So, change your career. He says, I know only one, and that's riding the boat, rowing the boat. So, I don't know any other profession, and with this I look out at my family, and if my boat also becomes a woman, and as though she's going to stay with me. Taraniyo muni dharani hoi jai, बाट परे मोहि नाव उड़ाई. She'll become some rishi's wife. No, she'll stay with you. Double maintenance, no? So then what? He says, see, I have a problem with you. It is something magical about the dust of your feet. So you allow me to wash the dust of your feet, I will across. Meanwhile, Lakshman is getting angry. He said, okay, Lakshman, you want to shoot me? You can shoot me. But I will not go across the ocean till I am told by Ramchandraji to wash his feet. And bihase karuna en. And Bhagwan burst out laughing. And Kevat achieved what he wanted to achieve. Even Narad Bhakti Sutra, Tat Sukha Sukhitvam. Real expression of love is bringing happiness to the beloved, means finding happiness of the beloved. And here this Kevat, who comes on the stage of the Ramayana just for few minutes. But what love is, these two very simple characters, one is Kevat, other is Shabri. What love is, we can learn from them. Finally, Bhagwan's feet, he takes him across. Meanwhile, Sumantra returns back to Ayodhya. Dashrath Maharaj had that little hope that maybe Sumantra will convince Ramchandraji to come. But when Sumantra comes back, Dashrath Maharaj says, I know my son will not compromise my word. No. But now I cannot live without him. And Dashrath Maharaj departs from this world. Bhagwan proceeds, and that portion, right, that taking guidance from rishis, sages, men and women of knowledge, should you find your purpose, should you go to your, set your goal or go to your destination. And going through Valmiki's ashram, with the guidance from Valmiki ji, he goes and stays in Chitrakoot. And we are in Chitrakoot, isn't it? Yeah. Meanwhile, there, Dashrath Maharaj has passed away. Sumantra immediately sends message to Bharat and Shatrughan. Bharat was in his grandfather's home, Nana's home. Sends message there. Just said, just come immediately. Bharat had a dream a night before and he was already very restless. Immediately Bharat and Shatrughan come. When he comes to Ayodhya, people are not even looking towards him. People are shunning him. People are sad. And Ayodhya, nobody ever saw anyone sad. Nobody ever rejected anybody. He wonders what is happening. Nobody even speaks to him. He goes straight. He doesn't find Ramchandraji anywhere. He goes to his mother Kaikai and she is waiting for her son Bharat to come. Men don't notice what attire, women wear. He'll say, how do I look? Ah, good. You didn't notice sari, He doesn't notice, but something is unusual about his mother. But his mind is, where is Maharaj? Because normally Dashrath Maharaj is in Kaikai's chamber. Where is Maharaj? Where is father? Where is Ram? Why is the whole Ayodhya so sad? What has happened? And Kaikai comes, Beta, all this I did for you. She says, what did you do for me? She says, I secured, I secured the kingdom for you. But and sent Ramchandraji into the forest. But, something like, it backfired and that your father died. Bharat is in a state of shock. He said, how? Why? Why was Ramchandra ji sent to the forest? He says a punishment is given to those who look at some other person's wife or who has killed a person. My brother done. And even there, Kaikai snaps, even while he is saying these words, she snaps in between and says, you know that your brother, even in the dream, will not do such a thing. That much also Kaikai. They said, then what? She says, no, I did it for you. He says, you did not do this for me. Because if you would have thought about me, you would have thought what I want. And what I wanted was to be in service of my such a noble brother. No? He, at that moment, what he wanted to do to his own mother, at that time, that even speaking rudely to her is not what Ramchandra ji would like. And therefore, controlling himself, he just left from there. Meanwhile, Mantra is coming there. Raja beta. Bharat did not even look towards her and walked. But Shatrughan, and that's why he's called as Shatrughan. And the name was given of enemy. And we don't hear in the Ramayana what enemy did Shatrughan conquer. But that Shatrughan, he was the only one, and Mantra was also his governess. He gave her such a push that her hunchback broke. Because to conquer or even correct or straighten a person at your home who is being to the society and even to the family, even if it's your own person, it's so hard. But Shatrughan did it, and he said to her that you stay out of here. Bharat went straight running to Mother Kaushalya. Seeing Kaushalya Mata in those clothes without the queen's glamour, he just fell at her feet. She just holds on to him and he cries and he weeps and he says, Mother, even in my dream or in any way, a sinful person like me, but I tell you, I had got nothing to do with this. Kaushalya Mata holds him and says, even in the dream, can no one think that Bharat can do something like this? But whatever is there in destiny, since Bharat weeps and weeps and weeps to her, but she holds on and she thinks in her mind that what have you done even to your son, Kaikai? She assures Bharat that, and what a great mother Kaushalya, your mother did this to my son, now see what I do to you. Kaushalya holding Bharat, she tells Bharat, Bharat, your father died giving those boons for which Ramchandra ji has gone. And see Kaushalya Mata, this is what you call as a queen. Then you will know that Sita was not a victim. She was a royal queen who again made that great sacrifice. Here, Kaushalya says that, beta, my son, the kingdom should not be without a king. You immediately take up. He says, Mother, I will not. What kingdom belongs to my brother, that too also such a noble brother. But she said the kingdom cannot be. Immediately a conference took place, all the ministers, Vashishji, all of them gathered there. And now what should be the course? Of course, Vashishji first says, and the body of Dashrath Maharaj was kept in oil so that it doesn't decay. He says we have to do the rites, now that the sun's back, we have to do the rites properly. And he says also, he says when somebody dies, there is sorrow. But when a person who has fulfilled all his duties and has died fulfilling his duty or in war, etc., such people we do not have to grieve. Dashrath Maharaj has lived his full life and lived a noble life and a fulfilled life. Everybody is in sorrow, but we should not grieve such a person's death. That is how we know that with Gurudev attained Mahasamadhi, there was no purpose of living. But you don't grieve over his. In fact, his life becomes an inspiration to us. That's why we meet every year for this camp on the occasion of his Mahasamadhi. And let us continue to do that, to remember his life and for which he lived and for which he even took his body to such an edge that literally serving, he left this. So it tells, do not grieve. However, after all the ceremonies were done, they again met and now they said, what is the way forward? We have to think. Everybody there said that according to Dashrath Maharaj's boon given, number one, that Ramchandraji has gone to the forest, kingdom should not be without a king, and Bharat would be the rightful king right now. Vashishji said it. All the Rishi Munis there said it. Even Kaushalya Mata says it. And it is said that mother, father's, Guru's word, when said, you should just do it, it will become good. Good only will take place, no? Here, Bharat did not want the kingdom. But father's word, for father's word, Ramchandraji went to the forest. Now father's word means boon given. Boon given. By that, Bharat should become the king. Ramchandraji, obeying father's word, goes to the forest. Bharat refuses. Yeah? Father's word, and he says, if motherhood is gone, a woman is not a mother. Even if she may have given you birth. But if womanhood is gone, not with your mother. That which woman would do to someone else's son like this? But here it is Kaushalya's Mata's wish also, that now the kingdom should not be. If Bharat did take up the kingdom with no selfish intention in his mind, fulfilling his father's and mother's words, fulfilling his Guru's instruction with the guidance of the Guru. he would have not done anything dharmic. But beyond this Samanya Dharma is Param Dharma. Yeah? And in front of Bharat, even later on Vashishji says, my intellect fails my disciple. Bharat stands up and he says, with all due respect to all my elders here, you all tell me to take up this kingdom. Because it is father's boon, it is mother's wish, and for the well-being of the society, which means it is even Ramchandraji's wish. Because he will not want Ayodhya to be without anybody looking after it. But he re-questions. Yeah. In the Gita also, that methodology that Krishna uses to make Arjuna see from a higher standpoint. Because in Mahabharata, where every moment there is inquiry into Dharma, even the game of dice constantly was about the Dharma, 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 and such an adharma took place there. Yeah? Nothing can be worse than what happened there. That's why Krishna had to give, and finally it landed in the war. And it is in the Gita that Krishna makes clear what Dharma is. For Dharma it is. That is what Gurudev brought to us. Because when life situations change, when dilemmas come in, when we do actions thinking it is good, but it is wrong, and when the consequences come, we, family, society has to suffer. And we suffer even more thinking that I am so good, why do I have to suffer? And all in the name of Dharma only. But what is Param Dharma? It is Bharat who demonstrates. Ramchandraji lived Dharma. Dharma is not this rule or that rule or this way or that way. Dharma also has to be determined not only with the intellect but also with bhakti. Not just attachment, love, what I like to do, my heart. Look at how Bharat analyzes the situation. He says, it is instructions of everybody and I would listen to it, and that is Dharma. But please tell me what Dharma is going to take place here. What Dharma has taken place? I plead to all of you to rethink what you are telling me to say. I cannot be disobedient to all of you. But please, revisit, rethink, reanalyze. That first of all, is this my Father's commandment? Yes, He has given a boon, but is it my Father's wish? My father would not even wish that Ramchandraji go to the forest. His wish was that Ramchandraji should become the king. What was the wish of all the people? That Ramchandraji should become the king. And if now I become the king also, what will the people think? That finally, everybody says, but then, when they get that kingship, they will become the king and all that. At the moment, all the public are gathered here that I should become the king because there is no choice. But is the wish of the public? We are democratic, and that is democracy. Democracy was there at that time. Bharat Maharaj started it, that's why it is called as Bharat. Then he says, see how he analyzes it. Then he says that if you say father's word, it is not father's word. It is that Kaikai who said it. And because of her jealousy, her deceit, you want her wishes to be fulfilled. And if it is my mother's wish also, really speaking, this is not even my mother's wishes, it is Mantra's wishes. You want Mantra's wishes to rule the kingdom. See how we analyze. And if you are telling that my good will take place, what is my goodness is service of Ramchandraji. He never says, nobody thinks about my wishes. But did anybody even think about it? And thus, he then says, now I place this in front of you. All of you, tell me. There was suddenly a cheer amongst everybody. Then Vashishji said that what can we do? You know, Ramchandraji, he says, whatever reason is gone, I think we should all go and bring Ramchandraji back. By the time Kaikai also suddenly realizes that she's lost her son also now, no? And sometimes you need this root shock to awaken you. He says, let us all go and let us go the entire army and all the provisions and crown Ramchandraji king there and bring Raja Ram back. Everybody was so happy, you know, and that hope came back. Everybody cheered Bharat Maharaj, and all of them, even this time, Kaushalya Mata, Sumitra Mata, even Kaikai came with them. All left for Chitrakoot. In the journey also, Bharat walks on the feet. Kaushalya says, come and sit on the chariot, because if the king is walking, others will walk. And in your sadhana, should not create trouble for others. So many lovely lessons are there. He sits so that the elderly people and all could also go and sit. When he comes near Guha's village, who has also been sent back by Ramchandraji, Guha thinks that now this Bharat has come to, he thinks that there is no one to protect Ramchandraji. But before he jumps to conclusion, he sends 3 types of food. But since they eat only fruit, etc., he knows the army has not come here with violent intentions. Guha takes him to Chitrakoot. And that meeting of Sri Ram and Bharat is an epic. Lakshman first gets anxious, and you saw all that yesterday. The children have portrayed it so beautifully. Lakshman first thinks it was not enough that his mother took the kingdom. He's impulsive. He's very, because he's protective about Ramchandraji. I'll go and fight, but even there Ramchandraji says, my Bharat will never even have this intention. He said, but he's coming with the whole army. He says, I am worried for what he is coming. Not that he is coming to fight with us or to kill us. He says, I know my brother Bharat is, Lakshman says, I know my brother Bharat is very good, but you do not know what power can do. And Ramchandraji says, yes, power can corrupt, but not those who have got satsang and devotion. Yeah? It will not. Guha shows the path. He sees the footprints. Bharat literally is rolling on the ground, and Guha is seeing the love of Bharat. And finally, when they come, the way the two brothers meet into each other's embrace, and both, Bharat looked only like Ramchandraji. Shatrughan looked alike. Ramchandraji and Bharat had a dark complexion, while Bharat and Shatrughan and Lakshman had a fair complexion. They two look like brothers. These two look like almost the same time also, like literally like identical twins. Both in each other's embrace. Bharat is again following, apologizing. Ramchandra up. Again becomes the whole dialogue of Ramchandraji should return back to Ayodhya. Ramchandraji says we will not compromise on our word. Bharat says father's word will be kept and gives so many permutations, combinations. He says, let I and Shatrughan go to the forest, you and Lakshman Ayodhya. So somebody will go for exile. No? Or Lakshman again go. Lakshman go back, I will go with you to the forest. Bhagwan Ramchandji said, listen. But Bharat would not give. He pleaded. He found so many options. Then Janak Maharaj came. They thought that he will be able to. Even Janak Maharaj says, realize master, he says, this fails. I can't say anything. Ramchandraji is in his heart. He knows that Ramchandraji for his devotee will do anything. But again, what is devotion? Devotee doesn't make the Lord do what he wants. The Devatas are anxious that Ramchandraji has finally proceeded and they want to take Ramchandraji to Lanka. And they are intended only on that. They try to call Saraswati, do something to Bharat. Otherwise, Bharat is going to take Ramchandraji away. Saraswati said, you try to play mischief with Bharat, all the Devatas will perish. Finally, Bhagwan makes a statement. Bharat, now you decide, I will do what you want. Devatas were all anxious. People were all happy because they know what Bharat wants. No? Ramchandraji also had a sleepless night. But Bhagwan tells the devotee, take from me what you want. I will do what you want. But what is the devotee? Yeah? Karishe vach. Bharat comes and says, Bhagwan, I shall do what you tell me. But I will not rule the kingdom. That kingdom is yours. Bhagwan says, then go back and rule the kingdom for me. That he said, I will. And then said, that I am a child, I do not know. Please instruct me. And that portion for management and leadership is so beautiful, even in Sri Ramcharitmanas and in Valmiki Ramayana. These are portions that we should lead, we should study, we should bring in our education system. The West picks these portions up, uses it, and we still, very nice, very nice. Bharat, Bharat, Bharat. Then he says, I will rule for 14 years the kingdom in your name. But give me some symbol, some emblem. After his instructions, give me your Padukas. That's why even on Aradhana, we worship the Paduka. Because those principles and ideals that you stand for, keeping that as my inspiration, I will run the kingdom and know that you are there. And taking the Padukas of Ramchandraji, Bharat returns to Ayodhya, places Ramchandraji's Padukas on the throne. And the tapas that Bharat does. Lakshman's seva is great, but Lakshman still had proximity with Ramchandraji. To do seva when you are away from your beloved, that's seva. That's what the gopis say to Uddhav. In this fire of separation from Krishna, we would die. It's better to die than to live in such excruciating pain of viraha. But our life itself is His. If anything happens to us, will our Krishna not be sad? Thus we are ready to bear this also. This is seva. He kept his Padukas there, and the way Bharat has served, being separate from Ramchandraji, and if Ramchandraji had to sleep on the floor, taking permission from his Kaushalya Mata, Sumitra Mata, and his wife Mandavi, he goes and stays in Nandigram. Throughout the day, visits. The court administers the way Ramchandraji would administer. Whenever in doubt, would sit in front of the Padukas and get his inspiration. But he stayed in the hut in Nandigram, and that too also, if Ramchandra is sleeping on the floor, he had built, under the ground, and he would sleep there. And how alert he was that when Hanuman goes carrying the Dhruva, it is Bharat who is awake even at night protecting Ayodhya, seeing and unidentified aircraft. He shoots his arrow and Hanuman comes down. So you can see how he has served. And this is something we have to understand, that when we are serving the Lord who has given us everything, when you are serving the Guru, because of whom even now we are benefited, even by those who have not, whom even now we are benefited, even by those who have not met him. Yeah? Don't say that I'm just a volunteer so I can do whenever I want, however I want. Drop it whenever I can't. You have to learn from Bharat. Yeah? That if I'm doing seva, then it should be even with greater efficiency, even with greater dedication. Every bit of mine should be contributed in the seva of the Lord. And only when you understand both Lakshman and Bharat and Shatrughan will you really understand who Hanuman is and how his service includes all this. That's why he's called as Param Bhakta. And that too also a Vanar, a stranger. What is his love? While Bharat was ruling the kingdom, Ramji stayed in Chitrakoot. There in Chitrakoot, there was so much satsangs with the rishis, but the people started flocking there. It would disturb the rishis. Therefore, Ramchandraji goes and asks again the rishi where they should go next. And they told him to go to Panchavati. And Bhagwan came to Panchavati. And having come to Panchavati, Lakshman made a beautiful hut there. This was almost, say, towards the end of their exile, they come to Panchavati. And they are living there. There also we have Sri Ram Gita, which says that Lakshman listened to the Gita and he did not get deluded. But in the forest of life, in the Aranya of life, if there are Rakshasas, demons, wild creatures, there are also ashrams, ascetics, wise people. Even nowadays in these concrete jungles. It depends who or what we choose. And living in Panchavati, even the description of Panchavati is so beautiful. Jab te Ram keen tah basa, sukhi bhaye muni bhiti trasa. That ever since Bhagwan came to Panchavati, and there also he saw that these munis were suffering because of these Rakshasas, he made it a mission of his life that I will. And the moment I will free the people from these atrocities, and there all the Rishi Munis knew that Ramchandraji has come here, we are now free. Then, little twist. A vamp should come also, no? In the story. Surpanakha, Ravan ki bahini. Sister of Ravan, Surpanakha. She is roaming around in the forest and she thinks, of course, there's no one to control her. She is a free, liberated person, no? So she can do whatever she wants. And even she spots Ram and Lakshman. And Ramchandraji is so handsome, she gets attracted to Ramchandraji. And she had a very good beauty parlor. Having put makeup, dressed up as a very, very pretty woman, that Rakshasi was roaming around with her hair. Surpanakha means whose nails are long and hair is wild. Pretty much. You see many around. But she also occasionally, she dresses up, grooms herself, and looking very, very pretty, attractive. She comes and doing a lot of nakhras. She comes to Ramchandraji and she says, Tum sanga purush namo sama nari. There is no purusha like you and there is no woman like me, which is true. There is no man like him. There is no shameless woman like her. And she says, I think finally, Brahmaji has made a good match. Because I have been browsing around, but I didn't find anyone. But now I feel a little bit, you will do. All this, conversation. Ramchandraji was generally so serious. He just said, looking at Sita, I mean, can you match the natural beauty of Sita with this made up beauty? So he just looks at Sita and he says, you see, I am married, and she lied. She said, that's why I've remained unmarried, because I didn't find anyone of my match. She was married, Ravan only had killed her husband. So Ramchandraji says that even my brother is without a wife. You go to him. She looks at him and says, he's not bad also. So she goes to him. Lakshman says, what happened to Ramchandraji? Why is he causing this? And he says, listen, you know, I am the servant. He is the king. Don't think that a woman, society woman like you, could live with, or, one who is a seva. She also thought, Then she comes to Ramchandraji. Ramchandraji says, look how fair he is. In India, fair and lovely. World wants to get our color. Yeah? And we want to become fair. All go to Florida to get our color. And why our children are being teased and all that? Because they are envious. Our children should be proud. Kanchana varana viraja subesa. Can anybody beat? What do you think in all the pageants, who's winning nowadays? Yeah? Finally, she gets so upset and says, this woman only is the cause of it, because she is between me and Ramchandraji. And she takes her ferocious form and comes to attack Sita. Mind you, she was going to attack Sita. Bhagwan looks at Lakshman. Lakshman immediately comes and cuts off her nose and her ears. Weeping, she goes to Khar and Dushan. So why did he cut? Because Surpanakha represents our wandering mind. And even the most sensuous person, the most materialistic person, now and then goes towards God. That's not wrong. That Surpanakha got attracted to Ramchandraji, that was not wrong. He is so attractive. Not. But see, from Ramchandraji to Lakshman to Ramchandraji, many times she went back and forth. But when she was about to attack Sita, Lakshman came in the seat of meditation. Now our mind goes, Ram, Ram. That Shiv Raman took $10 from me and has not returned it. And then he's traveling to Paris. And from Paris, he's going to London. Yeah? He's going to Harrods to do all the thing. And he can't return my $10? Yeah? And after traveling around the world and getting angry, upset for $10, losing your mind, peace, then suddenly, Ram, 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 Ram. Acha, was Ram really there? Why in Ayodhya all this? The politics. Ram, Ram. The other senses can be shut down, like the eyes. The two senses in the seat of meditation, you have to cut off, not physically cut off your ears, cut off your senses from your mind. That is called as Dhamma. Even if you hear something, you should be deaf to the world. And the nose is another thing that you can't close. The moment you smell, sambar, oregano, pizza. Therefore, for a sadhaka, if you want to be steady, then the ears and the nose is detached from, because they cannot be shut down in the seat of meditation. So there's a greater significance, as I said. She goes to her brothers Khar and Dushan and says, I saw a beautiful woman and I was going to bring her for y'all, but they done to. They also knew their sister very well. This kind of sister. They said, what did you do? What did I do? You don't care for your sister. She went on and on and on and on and on. Then she said, there's a beautiful woman, and like none that you have ever seen. And I went there. Then Khar and Dushan with 14,000 Rakshasas came there. Bhagwan told Lakshman, you go to the cave. And single-handedly. And even Khar and Dushan looks at Ramchandraji. He says, we want only your wife, but we do not even want to scar you because you are so handsome. Therefore, whenever Tulsidas Ji describes the beauty of Ram, he calls him also as Kharari, the enemy of Khar. They said, we will let you free, you just give your wife to us. We do not even want to show arrows at you to scar your body. But Ramchandraji single-handed fighted 14,000 Rakshasa and killed Khar and Dushan. And after having Khar and Dushan, when he stood there on his dark body, specks of red, red and blue together. That's why with orange, don't wear orange shoes. Yeah, wear blue shoes. The specks of, and when Sita comes from there, which husband will a woman admire? Who if a gunda, after the night show movies, whistles at her and says, chalo, chalo, let's go, let's go, let's go. She looks at him with such pride. But this Surpanakha, seeing this, goes to Ravan. And there, what she does, see what is done, and there's a beautiful woman. I wanted to bring that woman for you and see what they did to me. Even Ravan knows what type of a woman she is. But when she describes Sita to her, to him, and then that disguised, and he knows that he cannot in front of Ramchandraji and Lakshman, so tells his uncle, now I told you why Marich was kept. He goes to Marich for help, that you can disguise yourself in different forms. So take a form of a deer and get Ramchandraji and Lakshman away from the hermitage, so that I can kidnap Sita and bring. Such a mighty warrior, when you do something wrong, there itself you lose all your power, your energy, your confidence. That's why disguising as a sadhu, Tulsidas Ji says, like a dog, stealthily, he went to kidnap Sita. And that part of the story is well known to everybody. But what is the great significance of that story? We shall tell you tomorrow. And then comes our Hanuman. Yeah? And those 2-3 stories which people have got in their mind certain queries about, we shall take that up and then conclude the Ramayana. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Hari Om. First of all, we want to recognize some of our major Mahasamadhi camp donors, Jyoti and Praveen Chakarala, Sunil Maini, Joshika and Bijesh Kanbar, Anu and Madhu Vadduri, Bhavani and Ramu Rangineni, V.K. Gupta. And there were a couple of anonymous donations as well. As we have been doing every evening, couple of Ramayana presentations this evening. Today's cultural program presentations are from Chinmaya Mission Pittsburgh and Chinmaya Vrindavan, New Jersey. Few quick announcements before we start with the presentations. Online auction, Ramayana book of calligraphy ink art by Swami Sarveshananda is on at our camp website msc2022.cmdfw.org. Copies of the book can be ordered there as well. Our Mahasamadhi Aradhana Puja is on Wednesday, August 3rd. Please consider participating in that puja. The details of how to register are available at our camp website as well as on the MSc 2022 participants WhatsApp group. Please pick up dinner prasad on your way out. The new MP3 pen drives of lectures and bhajans are available in addition to the books at the bookstore here. Finally, after the presentations, we would like to call upon all the daily yajman and Aarti sponsors. Please come forward right after the presentation. Pramukh Yajman, Pankaj and Manisha Sundi, daily yajmans Rahul Bharadwaj, Srinivas Nalanti, and Subhash Sharma. The evening Aarti sponsors are Arunachalam Venkatraman, Sanjeevi Tivakaran, Subhash Joshi, Veni Gupta, Suma and Padmakar Kulkarni, Darshana Rani, and family. I apologize if I missed out any of the names, any of the Aarti sponsors. So if you are here, if I missed out, did not call out any of the names, please come forward at the time of Aarti as well. Thank you and Hari Om. Enjoy the presentations.
వనవాసము తానిచ్చిన వరము ధనుజదండనము ముని రక్షణము మనుజ జన్మకిదే సాధనము ధనుజదండనము ముని రక్షణము మనుజ జన్మకిదే సాధక్యము హరిత సౌందర్య సహజ కాననము మరపించునుగా మనముద్యానము స్వర్ణ సౌధముల మించిన అందము మారీచుడను ధనుజవంశను సీతాపహరణ దురాలోచనకు నేతెరువైతిని దౌర్భాగ్యమున కనకహరిణమై సీతకు తన కది తెమ్మని పతిని అనచగా రామశరమునే మోక్షమునంద రావణుకు యుక్తి సఫలం మగునట రావణుకు యుక్తి సఫలం మగునట రావణుకు యుక్తి సఫలం మగునట
కనరే నాథ కనకహరిణము కనులు మీరు మిట్లు కొలుపుచున్నది కనరే నాథ కనకహరిణము కనులు మీరు మిట్లు కొలుపుచున్నది కనరే నాథ కనకహరిణము కను కనలేదెన్నడు కనక మృగమును మాయగదోచుచున్నది
కామరూపుల దృశ్యులు కావున నీవట జనగ వ్యర్థము హతమార్చును నీ శరాఘాతమున హరిణ బూటకము చచ్చిన తెలియును అనుజనీదు మాట అంతయు నిజముకో వదిన కోర్కె దీర్చవలయు కాదే ప్రాణముండి దొరక బంచి తెచ్చ అట్లు కాని ఎడల యముని చేర్తూ కోదండము ధరించిన రాముని ముందు లేరు ఎవరు మహిని ఇంత వలదు తల్లి సత్యము అంతయు అర్థమాయయే కోదండము ధరించిన రాముని ముందు నిలువలేరు ఎవరు మహిని చింత వలదు తల్లి అద సత్యము అంతయు అసురమాయయే
ఏమాని చింత ఏమంత లక్ష్యము గ్రజుడిడు మూలపడ అనుజునకు ఉపేక్ష రామానుజులందరింత నయవ రామరికి వాంఛ రాణిపై నీ కాంక్ష
పరుషము తగదిటు నిష్ఠురమాపు పడతుల మతులు ప్రళయాంతకము పరుషము తగదిటు నిష్ఠురమాపు పడతుల మతులు ప్రళయాంతకము ముని ఆజ్ఞను ఉల్లంఘించదరేఖను దాటకు రక్షగునీకిదే రాముని ఆజ్ఞను ఉల్లంఘించదరేఖను దాటకు రక్షగునీకిదే రక్షగునీకిదే రక్షగునీకి వినపడలేదా శంఖధ్వానం కనపడలేదా రుద్రాకారం వినపడలేదా శంఖధ్వానం కనపడలేదాకారం శంభోపాసక జంగమ శివులం పుణ్యదాతలం భిక్షూలం అగ్నినేత్రులం గరళగాత్రులం లయకారకులం ప్రళయకర్తలం శంభోపాసక జంగమ శివులం పుణ్యదాతలం భిక్షూలం అగ్నినేత్రులం గరళగాత్రులం లయకారకులం లయకర్తలం భవతి భిక్షాం దేహి భవతి భిక్షాం దేహి భవతి భిక్షాం దేహి
సైరించు సత్తమా మీరాకమాకు ఎంతో ఈ జోలి అనింపుట మా పుణ్యము
అరుణుని అభ్రము కప్పిన వేళ ఉరుము చుచు మెరసిన వేళ ధరణి గర్భమే కదలిన వేళ దశముఖ ప్రకాశుడాయదుడు తలచె పుష్పకము ఘన విమానమును నిలచె తక్షణం రావణు ఆనను స్పృహ సీతను అపహరించేను నిశాచరు పుణ్యము నింగికెగసెను తథిం 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 తత్తథిం తథిం దిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిగిదిgidim దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగదరిగదిం తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం 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 దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం 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 దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం దిత్తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం తగణ జగణ ధిత్తంగడగదరిగడగదిం 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 తప్పదురనాసమ్ములంకే నిప్పుతలపై నిడుకున్నావురా రాముని శరమ్ము నిన్ను కూల్చేనురా వంశమ్ము నాశమ్ము అయ్యేనురా శ్రీరామ్ 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 శ్రీరామ్
Who are you, sirs? You have the of the divine. Indeed, the gate of the Devas. You appear like hermits, but you seem to know the Shastra. Who are you, handsome sirs? This Pampa lake now glitters, radiant together. Are you brothers? With bows and swords, are you both hunters? Is that so? Who are you?
I come to test and investigate you, commanded by Master Sugriva to find some clue. The sight of you is a divine. I cannot lie. I must be true.
Take us to Sugriva, your master. We know his pain and his harasser. We were asked to seek him. Oh, the kind one, lead us to him.
I will take you. Let your mind be at rest. But why are you dense forest? Who and what are you searching for? Someone you love or adore?
The mighty Dasharatha was our father. Rama, the eldest of four, is my brother. Sent to exile, Rama is here. I, Lakshmana, shall follow him forever. Sita, wife, came along with him. A Rakshasa took her from the ashram. We have looked for her through the forest with a lot of worry without rest. Dhanu, a celestial being, gave us the clue that Sugriva will help us with the rescue. Rama will be your friend. He is the best. He too needs your help if Sugriva attests.
Fortunate is Sugriva, my master. With you by his side, his problems are over. He too has been troubled, banished, and tormented. I am Hanuman, sent by Sugriva to know more about you. Having lost his kingdom, he is here all alone. He needs your friendship. So, come with me, please. Our mighty army might have.
The joy this brings to me, I cannot explain. I have been searching and roaming in vain. You look so powerful, yet simple and plain. Indeed, you are a friend to gain.
Come, sit on my shoulders. I am ready. To Sugriva I take you. Be Sugriv Maharaj! Sugriv Maharaj! Maharaj. Sugriv.
My heart now has hope. My fears set to rest. Our friendship fills me with zest. I know for your wife you are searching. Once we saw a Rakshasa in the sky carrying who was screaming. a bundle with silk ties.
Hanuman, bring it here. Lakshmana, my heart is just filled with fear. I know this to her. I cannot breathe. All a blur.
I know not any other jewels, but I know these anklets. Place them on our feet as I saw them in the mornings.
Yes, I will see Sita once more. We will be happy as before. Now that I know that she is not, we can drop that worry and the dread. Sugriva, you're anxious. I see your fear. Be calm, be steady, my dear. We are here. The end of your worries is near. But what bothers you? Can you make it clear?
Wali was my king, my guide, my brother. I obeyed and we happily lived together. There was a dispute over a woman between an Asura Mayavi and him. One night, Mayavi came to Kishkinda and challenged Wali. Wali impulsively at the fight. Seeing him leave, I too followed. Mayavi ran a great distance and entered a cave. Without thinking, Wali followed. I waited outside for days, months and years. Then one day, blood gushed out. I heard Wali scream and shout. Mayavi had to be stopped, I thought. I rolled a stone in. The cave got blocked out. I returned to Kishkinda, sad and glum. Then the ministers gave me the kingdom. Wali was not dead. Raging and I were exiled and shunned. I had no place left to live, hiding in fear. The forest was the frontier. Bali cannot come, for he was cursed here. I weep. Oh, he was dead. Rama, you are strong, brave and valiant. But Wali has always been dominant. Dundubi, as strong as 1,000 elephants, was beaten in a little more than an instant.
Your doubt is but natural, Sugriva.
He kicked gigantic Dundubi with his little toe. Jai Shri Ram! He shot 7 trees. Jai Shri Ram!
Come on, Wali. Face me. This is my challenge. All your insults I have come to avenge. Out from your drunken wine and drunken binge. Out from your bed.
How dare you? Do you have no fear? I will crush you. Is that clear? I have been looking for you every day. Good. Now that you are here, I will make you disappear.
them. So alike are they. Who is who? Difficult to say. My bow is strung. I am ready. Should I shoot? No. Steady.
Oh, where is Ram? My relief. These hard punches are causing me grief. Ooh, they are testing my belief. Escape I should, to remain in one piece. You made me do it. I got beaten by the bully. What happened to your valor? Why didn't you shoot your arrow?
Shiva. I couldn't shoot. In form and shape, you both are identical, which is so hard to believe. I didn't want to and grieve.
Subside, huh?
Dear friend, wear this garland, then know who is who. My arrow won't miss. Our friendship is true.
Come on, Wali. Fight me again. Where are you?
This is my brother, my fight. You should have faced me with your might. You hid like a coward out of sight and interfered with what right. You are born from a noble family, well known for compassion, kindness, and mercy. Tara warned me. I had great faith in your quality. I was wrong. You deceived me. I now see. O Rama, we are animals dwelling in your forest. Over women and gold is normal, even to the best. Did this affect your prince? Your righteousness is a pretense. You are like the rest. Had you given me a direct challenge, you would have lost in that exchange. Like a snake that hides, bites, and avenges, you did the same to me with hate and anger. I could have got your lost wife, saved you from all the strife. I would have used Ravana under a knife and make him beg for his life. Unethical and unlawful is my killing. I demand to know your thinking. Last difficult breaths as he lay dying, still waiting, gasping, listening.
Listen to me. No more of wild shouting. Adharma has been your way of following. A wild animal is hunted from afar while hiding. You are the one. Of that there is no doubting. Of Dharma, Rama, you speak. Their true meaning you did not seek. You accuse me of breaking Dharma. Yet, all of this from your own karma. We, the kings of the Ikshvaku clan, have the right, doers of the land, to make the rule of law stand wherever we are. That's our errand. You have ill-treated your brother, snatched away his wife. That itself is enough for me to take your life. Promise you, for as long as I'm alive, for righteousness, we both shall strive. You found joy in ego and power. You failed to see the truth of the other. Knowledge and sacrifice is Dharma's way. You have gone too far astray. Protecting Dharma is the king's purpose. Saving and the helpless. You have strength and knowledge too. Arrogance is the better of you.
Oh Lord, I abide by your command. I follow what you are saying. I'm a lowly being. Forgive me for arguing. O Rama, goodness and kindness you bring. Please, please, give me your blessing.
Sugriva is now the king. Angada is a prince too. You are the main reason our honor is due. Come, please enter the city. Your command is due. Without you, our joys are not completely true.
I remain here. There are more years of exile. My blessed rule in style. Rain is around for 4 more months. Let him celebrate and then fulfill his promises to me. I will wait.
Swastina Indro Vruddhashavaha Swastina Pusha
बोलो सुग्रीव महाराज की बोलो सुग्रीव महाराज की बोलो सुग्रीव महाराज जय श्री राम
चलो शुरू करो आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीर्ति कलित ललित सियपी की गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद बाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद सुख सनकादि शेष हरुतारद बरनी पवन सुत कीर्तिनी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की। गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश, कहो शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस। मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस, सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की। गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी। व्यास आदि कवि बर्ज बखानी, काकभुसुंडी गरुड़ के ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की। कलिमल हर्षय रस फीकी, सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की। दलन रोग भव मुक्ति की, तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की। कीर्ति कलित ललित सिय पी की।
सियावर रामचंद्र की
जय।
पवन सुत हनुमान की
जय।
उमा महादेव की
जय।
बोलो भाई सब संतन की
जय।
सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।